Hi, I'm Jerry Langford Bottom, and this is my mother, Elaine Hulsey Kirby. Mother and I want to talk about her family history. She was born in the 1920s. She's part of the greatest generation, as were her siblings. And I think it's wonderful that she can share all these memories with us. And Mom, tell me, you were born in Lipscomb, Alabama, right?
Right.
Okay, and who were your mom and dad?
My dad was George Franklin Hulsey. He was born in 1889, and he married my mom, Sarah Elizabeth Lyons Hulsey, and she was born in 1896, if I'm correct on that.
And there's a lot of your nieces that are named after her, aren't there?
Yes, there are.
There's a lot of Sarah Elizabeths
Right.
in our family.
Yes.
It's a very important name.
Yes,
And
sir.
Mother had 7 siblings.
Yes.
And the oldest was George, right, Mom?
Right.
George was born in
1917, in June of 1917. And then Douglas was born in 1920. And then Don was born in 1922. And Denson was born in 1924. And then Betty, my sister, was born in 1926. And then I came along in 1928. And then my younger sister, Elois, she was born in 1930. And then, of course, Max, our sweet youngest brother, he was born in 1934, July of 34.
So the age span between the oldest and the youngest was 17 years.
Yeah, from 1917 to 1934, yeah.
And what I learned today from having lunch with Mom was none of these siblings were born at a hospital. Is that right? Why don't you tell me a little bit about that experience, about what your mother experienced?
Well, Mother always had our children at home, to the best of my knowledge, as well as I recall. None of us went to the hospital unless it was an emergency. And in fact, I don't even recall seeing a hospital until after I married in 1946. So Mother had all her babies at home.
Yeah, a lady would come to the house and help her deliver her babies. Isn't that right?
Right. Yeah, there was a black lady that even helped Mother with me when I was born. So that was in 1928. So
no anesthesia, no painkillers.
No.
Born at home.
Just old home remedies, I guess.
Yeah, and you being a baby and a child, I'm sure you don't remember the specifics.
No.
Of what they did to help her out to get through that.
No. But from Elois up, I remember that all my brothers and sisters, we were born at home in Lipscomb, Alabama.
Now, tell me what you remember about that first home.
Well, I recall my dad taking us for a trip. I think it was Denson, my sister, older sister Betty, and I. Dad would take us over to Georgia to see his mom and dad, who lived near Winder, Georgia at that time.
Winder's east of Atlanta.
Yeah, it's past Atlanta, yeah. But Daddy would put us in his old, I think it was a Model T, I'm not sure, but he took us over to see his parents. And that was the last time I recall seeing Daddy's parents.
And that first home your dad rented, isn't that right? Your mom and dad rented that first home?
Yeah, they had to rent. Yeah, Daddy was a miner. He worked at the red ore mines at Woodward. So that was in Lipscomb. So we didn't have any other means. Daddy worked in the mines and Mother worked at home with kids and keeping house. Mother was very smart. She learned to play the piano by listening to her sister taking lessons in the living room and Mother stood in the hallway while her sister was taking the piano lesson. And then after the teacher left and my aunt, or Mother's sister, I should say, finished practicing, Mother would go in and get on the piano herself, start playing, and she would go over the lesson that she had overheard the teacher teach her sister. And that's how Mother learned to play the piano.
She learned to play, and then I remember her playing in church.
She did. She played for Eastern Valley Baptist Church, and she played for a little Methodist church out on what we call Lover's Lane, out between Bessemer and Hueytown.
Self-taught.
Yes, self-taught. In fact, she was very smart and fluent in German, speaking of German and Latin too. I have one of Mother's books where she learned to speak German.
Another interesting tidbit that this is the first time I'm hearing. Okay, Mom, this is great. I want to continue. I hope that you will join us on the next video where Mother shares more great stories and insights of what it was to grow up in the 30s and 40s in rural Alabama. Until next time,
That's right.
we'll see you. Say bye, Mom.
Bye. Love you all. Bye.